Hi, I'm Julia, librarian at McAllen Public Library. This is the Virtual Traveler, where we'll be exploring the world using Google Street View. Be sure to stay tuned after the tour for some library book recommendations. Today we'll be visiting the city of Barcelona in the autonomous community of Catalunya in Spain. It's an economic center of Spain and all of Europe, and Catalunya has long fought for independence from Spain. Barcelona is the largest city in Catalonia, the second largest city in Spain, and the fifth largest urban area in all of Europe. The official languages here are Catalan and Spanish. Although it's a modern metropolis today, Barcelona is actually a truly ancient city. Ruins of an early settlement here have been found that date to 5000 BC. The city has been ruled by everyone from the Romans to the Visigoths to the Arabs to the Spanish. The Gothic Quarter, or the Barri Gòtic in Catalan, is the historic center of the old city of Barcelona. It's made up of narrow pedestrian-only alleys forming a labyrinth of passageways, and contains the remaining parts of the city's Roman wall, as well as a number of medieval landmarks. It's dominated by the Gothic architecture style, but many of the buildings actually date from the late 18 and early 1900s, and were part of a restoration of the district for the 1929 International Exhibition hosted in the city. Still, it's very easy to lose yourself in time and history while wandering these streets. Keep watching as we explore a little bit of the Barri Gòtic and continue on to the Cathedral of Barcelona. Barcelona has several famous cathedrals, and the one we'll be visiting first is the Barcelona Cathedral, or the Cathedral of the Holy Cross and Saint Eulalia. It's located in the Gothic Quarter and was constructed from the 12 to 1400s, although it's one of the buildings that underwent a major restoration for the International Exhibition. The neo-Gothic facade was constructed in the late 1800s, and it's notable for its many gargoyles on the roof, as well as its dark and intricate interior. Next, we'll be visiting the famous Basílica de la Sagrada Familia, designed by the famous Catalan architect Antonio Gaudí. One of the many notable facts about this cathedral is that it is still under construction to this day from the time it began in 1882. The original architect, Francisco de Paula del Villar, died in 1883, and that is when Gaudí took over as architect. He devoted the remainder of his life to its construction and is buried in the crypt of the cathedral. When he died in 1926, less than a quarter of the project was complete. In 2010, Pope Benedict consecrated it as a Catholic church, which means that masses could not actually be held in it until 2010. You've probably noticed that it looks like something from a movie set, especially from the exterior. Gaudí used his famous combination of Gothic and Art Nouveau architecture styles. I visited the cathedral once myself on a trip to Barcelona in the 1990s when I was small, and I remember that it was a lot less finished looking then than it is now. Keep watching as we explore a little bit of the cathedral and then continue on to La Rambla. La Rambla is a famous tree-lined pedestrian-only street that stretches 3/4 of a mile through the middle of the city and connects the Christopher Columbus Monument in the Parc Guell to the Plaza de Catalunya in the middle of the city. It forms the border between the Barri Gòtic on the east and the El Raval neighborhood to the west. The famous Spanish poet Federico Garcia Lorca once said that La Rambla is the only street in the world which I wish would never end. The last spot we'll be visiting is the Parc Guell, which is also famous because of the architect Gaudí. It's part of the public park system and is composed of gardens and architectural elements designed by Gaudí. It was constructed from 1900 to 1914 and declared a World Heritage Site by UNESCO in 1984. The park was originally part of an unsuccessful housing development owned by the entrepreneur Count Eusebi Güell. When the housing development failed, Güell commissioned Gaudí to redesign it as a park. Keep watching for some library book recommendations set in Barcelona. This was Julia, and thank you for watching. Be sure to follow MPL Adults on Facebook and McAllen Public Library on YouTube, and don't miss any of our virtual programs.